Hey guys, welcome back and happy Mother's Day. Yes, it is 31st of March and I've decided to come out and basically do a bit of a pre-investigation to St Nectan's Glen. Obviously I know stuff's happened here. You might actually remember this bit in this little church here. St Piran's Church. And I found out a bit more about the place. It was actually built or first recorded in 1457. When the local reverend was granted a license to conduct mass in this building. It is very small, and yeah, that bookshelf there is the one where the Bible flew off the shelf. I haven't been back since, really, but I'm even more convinced now there was something happening, because that's the door. Obviously that was opened when I was here, but even with the wind that we had that day, it would have had to come round this wall, and you'll notice the bookshelf is completely enclosed. That Bible there was the one that flew off the shelf, and surely if it was the wind, these smaller books would have went. And being an enclosed bookcase like that, I don't think it was the wind at all. But we're going to start off here. I want to come back in the day because my last video, you might remember me and Nick come here after dark. It was about midnight, and the woods just weren't good at all. So I thought I'd start in here. I just want to see what the feeling is like in here, and I am going to get, I've got a K2 on me. I'm just going to get some readings and some other bits and bobs. K2, bring it close to the camera. I don't actually use these that often because I don't think they're that brilliant, but I'm going to put it on here. Not getting any readings. So yeah, I'm in this quaint little church. Yeah, I like the roof. It's all flagstone. Lots of cobwebs. Got a K2, very little in there, to be fair. So weird. Is there anybody in here? Any spirits? Anyone looking to reach out? If you can hear me, can you make the book move again? Or throw a stone? Is there any spirits here looking to communicate? Anybody? Can you open the door or move a book? When I was here last time, you made a book fall. Can you do that again? Or throw a stone at me again? going on. There's very little going on in here. Just going to head over here and just check for It's definitely not noisy, but is there anyone trying to communicate with me? Anybody here? I don't actually think there's any power in here at the moment. No. Well, that and the meter's not working, so at least I know there's nothing really happening in here. Well, anyway, I mean, I think it might be nice to see if we can get some permission to come back here at night and investigate this little church at night. I'm going to head up to the woods now and hike up to the waterfall and speak to the owners of that. Also try and get some permission to actually access the grounds of the waterfall out of hours. If not, we will definitely come back to the woods, but I'm going to talk you through the woods in a second. So let's start walking down there and we're then, guys, I'm getting a bit warm now, so I've taken my jumper off, but this is where we parked on Friday night, just here. And these are where we got to, about where them people are now, actually. Just down there before we got evicted by the spirits, if you want to call it that. But you can see it's really thick woodland, and we'll go for a walk down there in a second. So then, I mean, this is where we got to last time. It was goes on for quite a way. That's down in the valley there. We walked this pathway here, and it's where we started hearing voices, and the camera started malfunctioning, and even my mag light, which doesn't have a flash function, started flickering. And if you can see just behind that tree there, you'll see the stone wall, which used to be a building. Back in the 1800s, there was actually a building there that burnt down and killed everyone inside. So there is a lot of sorrow in these woodlands here, but you can see how thick they are. I mean, that's going up to the hill. There's a big field at the top of the range there, but we didn't get any further than here, really. I don't even think we made it down this far, because we parked up there where them people are, and got to about here, I think. But it goes on forever, as you'll see in a moment. Gonna have to excuse the sound of the river now, but that's the river down there, and that runs the whole length of these woods, which I kind of think would actually, I don't know, it just, at night you can hear it even more because everything's so peaceful and quiet. There's no birds or wildlife, and I think it would mess your hearing up a bit doing a night investigation, but I also think it will really bring out the senses, and maybe that's why we had such a bad time Friday night, just because everything was heightened. You know, it was dark, so our eyes were, you know, off kilter, and also the sound of the water would obviously make your hearing slightly amplified, maybe. But the woods are associated with all sorts. There's witchcraft that was associated with the woodland here. Saint Nectan, who the valley is named after, he's said to have been buried underneath the big waterfall at the end. And people often see, there's lots of ghost stories here. People see grey figures and monks walking through the trees. A little girl, ghost of a little girl at the waterfall can be seen. bearing in mind people come here from miles and miles away to spread the ashes of their lost loved ones, and they pray for them. There's a little hut up the top which is full of personal belongings and effects from people that have died. So there's probably a lot of spirits in these woods here, and they go on forever. About 2 miles, I think, of woodland here. And this is just the entrance. We're not even in there yet. You can see it's thick vegetation everywhere, and a single footpath that runs through. We come down here to the river. It's just so prehistoric as well, with all the fern and the ivy, even bamboo. That's up in the top there. Different coloured stones. I mean, there's even red in amongst there. So it's definitely a place of interest, with a lot of history and a lot of spiritual connections, as well as ghostly connections. And I think that's possibly why it's so active. I mean, we came in here less than 200 metres and we were just blown away by our senses going mad, and the amount of activity we got within, you know, a couple of 100 metres. It was ridiculous. So I do need to build a bigger team. We need to come down here at night. I'm going to try and get permission to actually have access to the buildings and the waterfalls, which would be quite cool. Doubtful I'm going to get that, but certainly worth a go. I know they hold candlelit vigils and things here at certain times of the year at night in the waterfalls, so I'm hoping, even if it costs me an arm and a leg, we can get permission and access to the waterfalls at night. But let's keep walking. Let's have another look round and see what's going on. So for me, if I was doing a night investigation here, I think this is where I'd call camp, or HQ if you like. Basically, it's a flat bit, and up there behind me is the waterfall. And basically, it's I think the best bit to give you access to everything, really. And I'll show you why. So why do I think this is the best place to set up camp? Well, one, it's where the wishing tree is. Okay, that is a tree stump which has probably, well, I'm not even going to try and guess how many coins, because there is loads. And people come here who've lost people and they want to pray for them. They basically hammer a coin into one of the tree trunks. They've even started doing it into these trees here, look. Unfortunately, someone's nicked my one. I just put 10p in there a while ago and it's gone. So, some little scroats nicked that. But that's what it is. I mean, so you've got that, that's 1 point. 2, the bridge there, which takes you up deep into the woods. Okay, there's a quick, safe exit the way we came in, and then up there, up that footpath takes you up. It's about a 10-minute walk up to the waterfalls. So that's kind of why I would say we would sit here. It gives you the best of both worlds. And also there is that burnt down house just up from there, so I think this would be a good spot to start if we were doing an investigation here and looking for something. So that's my reason behind it anyway, and my logic. But as you can see, very thick woodlands, running water, woodlands carry on that way. Hopefully you can hear me talking over the sound of the river. I'm actually going to go out at some point, probably next week, and buy a new camera, one that I can have an external mic on, because although I love this M100, it doesn't have the capability for an external mic, and wind noise and stuff is unbelievable. In fact, one of my recent videos where I went to the Crowley cottage during the day, I had to cut loads of the footage just because you couldn't hear me talking over the wind. And I can imagine it's just as bad with the river raging next to me. Such a beautiful spot in the daytime. I don't actually really understand why it becomes so sinister at night. But then, in fairness, when I was here and had my my first ever paranormal experience, it was during the daytime. Beginning of February, I was here, and yeah, I had a hand touch my shoulder, whisper in my ear, and as soon as that happened, I became crippled with absolute emotion. I felt sick, my head ached. It was the worst experience ever, and I couldn't explain it, and that's why I'm now doing these videos and looking for the paranormal. So we'll stop here and have a look round. And you see lots of woodland that goes right up there in the river. Right, so guys, I think I've got everything I need. Just more of a layout really while it was light. I even captured some EVPs and the EMFs as well on the K2. Now bearing in mind you saw me in the church at the beginning, and I got no reading at all, even with this camera up on it. And in the middle of the woods, getting right up into the red in some points. Quite interesting. Because it ain't this camera, solely because you saw from the beginning of the video, even when I had the camera in it while we were in the church, didn't get any readings at all. The reason I'm leaving now is because I've got a headache coming on again. I can't come here without getting a headache, it's really weird. So I've decided to head back to the car. I'm going to email the guys here and speak to them about coming back. If they say no, that's fine, because the woodlands here is public access anyway. It's only the waterfalls that are actually fenced off and you have to pay to get in. But I think what I'll do is I'll come back regardless, but it'd be nice to get some permission to get into the falls, because it said that's where the ghost of a girl is, and it's also where the body's meant to be buried, if all that's true. So it would be nice to get actually in there. But I'm pretty sure, I think from what you've seen, these woods are creepy enough during the day, let alone at night. So we'll come back and we'll do a proper investigation at night. So please subscribe. It's really going to help me out as a growing channel, and the content's getting better and better. I'm going to upgrade my camera gear as well at some point, and sound gear. So the video should get better as well as the editing. So subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.